Cheers. Hello, everybody. Uh, Welcome to the webinar on Horizon Europe Cluster 6, which is about food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture, and environment. We'll be diving into the work program for 2026 and 2027. My name is Hashim, and with me I have my colleague Tu. Uh, we're both national contact points and program committee members for Cluster 6. Yeah. So before we start, we just want to inform you of some housekeeping rules. The webinar is being recorded and will be uploaded to our website later on. Your microphones and cameras are off by default. So if you have any technical issues, comments, or questions, you can use the chat, which True will be watching. So here we have the agenda for today. We'll start with an overview of the webinar series, and then we'll give you an introduction to who we are and Eurocenter, what we do, and then we'll dive into Horizon Europe and Cluster 6. Then we'll talk a bit about the Cluster 6 work program for 2026 and 2027. Then we'll highlight some relevant upcoming events, and then we'll wrap up with how we can support you and some further information. And I want to mention that the slides will be sent out afterwards, and we'll also have some times for questions at the end if there are any. So, as you can see here, we have an overview of the webinar program. We started on Friday last week. So we're on the last day of the webinar series today, and we had the webinars on the other clusters yesterday. So as I mentioned, all the webinars have been recorded, so all of them will be available on our website. So you're able to watch them again. So if you're looking for any specific information, for example, regarding the ocean and soil missions, you can go and watch the webinar about the missions. So who are we? We are from the Office for Research and EU Collaboration, also known as Eurocenter. We're from the Danish Agency of Higher Education and Science. We're part of the Ministry of Higher Education and Science. So what we do is that we basically support advisors and applicants about Horizon Europe. Our task is to support an active Danish participation in Horizon Europe. So we provide advice on funding opportunities, advice on financial and legal matters, and we also host these kind of webinars and events from time to time. So here you have an overview of the Danish national contact points and program committee members. So you can see who you can reach out to if you have any questions. So as you can see, the Cluster 6 team is comprised of me, Tu, and our colleague Nils. And we'll start with an introduction to Horizon Europe. So Horizon Europe is the EU's flagship funding program. It is for research and innovation. It is the 9th framework program covering the period 2021 to 2027. So we're heading into the last work program for this framework program. And Horizon Europe has a total budget of approximately 94.5 billion euros for research, innovation, and addressing societal challenges, with a focus on investing in concrete solutions for global and European challenges. So Horizon Europe aims to strengthen Europe's scientific and technological foundation and to boost European competitiveness. So here we have an overview of Horizon Europe. As you can see, the program is organized around 3 main pillars, each covering different types of activities. So on the left, you have Pillar 1, which you can say is more bottom-up foundational research. We have Pillar 2, which is more kind of a top-down research, and we have Pillar 3, which is more innovation focused. So we are in the second pillar, as you can see, called Global Challenges and European Industrial Competitiveness, where the sixth cluster, as you can see here. Um, and What I want to highlight is that in the pillar two, there is a big focus on climate, green transition, and environment. So 35% of the total budget in pillar two is actually allocated to climate and environment. Each of the six clusters have their own work program. So they will be talking about the work program for cluster six. Yeah, and here you have a bit more of an overview of the budgets for the different areas of Horizon Europe. So as you can see, the total budget for Pillar 2 for this entire period from 2021 to 2027 is around 53.5 billion euros, and the budget for Cluster 6 is 8.9 billion euros. And in Horizon Europe, we also have the partnerships under each cluster. So the purpose of the partnership is to, you say, provide common direction to align national, regional, and EU strategies. And the partnerships involve collaboration between the EU Commission and both public and private actors in the EU member states, focusing on select areas where closer coordination is needed beyond what is achieved through the, you could say, regular Cluster 6 work program. So you could say the partnerships complement the Cluster 6 work program. So if you're wondering why certain topics aren't in the, you could say, main Cluster 6 work program, they're likely represented in the partnership. So do remember to check out the calls in the partnerships as well. And there are three types of partnerships. We have the co-program partnerships, which aren't in cluster six. We have the co-funded partnerships, and we have the institutionalized partnerships. So you can see here on the right side, in cluster six, most of them are co-funded partnerships, and we also have two institutionalized partnerships. So the newest partnership is the Agriculture of Data Partnership, also known as AgData, which was recently launched with the first call now being live. And the partnership Forest and Forestry for a Sustainable Future is launching in 2026. And it's worth noting that Denmark is actually part of all of the partnerships except the RNI in the Mediterranean area partnership. And we actually have national mirror groups for each of the partnerships where we share information and updates regarding the partnership. So if you're interested in joining one of these mirror groups, please contact us. We'll have our contact information at the end. Yeah, and there's also a strategic plan for Horizon Europe, with the latest plan being for the period 2025 to 2027, which sets the direction for the EU research and innovation priorities, guiding how resources are allocated in Horizon Europe. So it focuses on three strategic orientations: the green transition, the digital transition, and a resilient and more competitive Europe. So the strategic plan promotes impact-driven research and innovation. And on the slide, you can see some short sections from the strategic plan, which shows that Cluster 6 supports the European Union's ambitions to become the first climate neutral and climate resilient continent. You can also see that the strategic plan actually commits to a 10% target, so 10% of Horizon Europe's total budget for 2025 to 2027 being dedicated to biodiversity-related topics. And I have the link for the strategic plan at the bottom. Of course, you'll get the slides, so you'll be able to dive into that if you wish. So you can say Horizon Europe is structured according to the legal framework and regulation. So the regulation defines the pillars, clusters, and the overall intervention and priority areas. So The strategic plan kind of explains what the European Commission aims to achieve from 2025 to 2027 on the research and innovation areas, and it clarifies how the legal framework structures and priority areas are to be implemented. It kind of describes how the different you could say sub-programs kind of interact and reinforce each other, and again with the focus on achieving impact. So the work programs for the clusters are at of course, at a cluster level. So they're organized into destinations, and these destinations are designed to deliver long-term expected impacts. So if we look at a call and topic level, we have expected outcomes. So each topic and call defines some expected outcomes, and these outcomes are about, the effects of the project. So in a proposal, applicants are expected to explain how the project will deliver on these expected outcomes. So if we look at the destinations, we also have something called expected impacts, which are found in the strategic plan and in the work program introduction to each destination. So at project level, we also have some expected outputs, which is basically what is expected that the project will contribute to once implemented. And then we also look at some deliverables that can be taken forward. So a suggested way to look at it, it's a bit technical, is to start at a topic level and look at what's directly relevant, and then kind of zoom out and link to how the destination impacts and the wider program logic. So something that's also worth highlighting when it comes to cluster 6 is this multi-actor approach, which is present. So that's very prevalent in cluster 6. With many actors being in play. So we have the EU agricultural policy, we have the EU fisheries policy, we have the EU bioeconomy strategy, etc. So there's a lot of things in the background kind of affecting all of these areas when it comes to cluster 6. And here you can see the 7 destinations for the cluster 6 work program. You can see them on the right. We have biodiversity and ecosystem services. We have fair, healthy, and environmentally friendly food systems. We have circular economy, bioeconomy sectors, clean environment, resilient, inclusive, healthy, and green rural, coastal, and urban communities. And we have something about innovative governance. So the expected impacts that are described in the strategic plan, they feed directly into the structure of the work program. So in that way, in the way that these 7 destinations almost one-to-one match the long-term cross-cutting long-term impacts. So there's actually just one impact that's addressed in 2 destinations, as you can see in the middle. It's the impact on the left side, the third one, sustainable and circular management of natural resources, tackling pollution and bioeconomy, which is shared across 2 destinations, both the circular economy one and the clean environment and zero pollution one. And here we have a general overview of the 2026-2027 work plan for cluster 6. So as you can see, the total budget is approximately 1.8 billion euros. We have 108 topics, 2 partnerships, and this work program follows the broader goals of the Horizon Europe strategic plan for 2025 to 2027. So cluster 6 aims to contribute to the key strategic orientations of the strategic plans, being the green transition, the digital transition, and building a more competitive and resilient Europe. So if you look on the left, you can see the budget per destination. In the middle, you can see the topics per destination, and on the right, you can see the types of actions. So the types of actions we have the most of are the research and innovation actions. So here you can see an overview of the calls and topics in the new work program. So the first calls are opening on the 14th of January. You can see here that the calls on this slide are single stage calls in 2026. You can see that they touch upon the different destinations. So the first call touches on biodiversity, bioeconomy, and zero pollution. The second one, food systems, climate action, communities. And the third touches on governance. And you can, of course, see the total budgets in the bottom. Here we have a continuation of that. You can see on the call on the left, call 4, there is a call for the agriculture of data partnership, which is actually coordinated by Denmark. And you can see that we also have some two-stage calls in 2026, touching again on biodiversity, bioeconomy, zero pollution, and food systems in the call all the way to the right. And here we're moving into the end of 2026 and into 2027. You can see that the last call for 2026 touches on the governance destinations. And then we have some single stage calls for 2027, again, touching upon many of the same topics that I just mentioned. And here we have the remaining calls for 2027, also some two-stage calls. You can see the last single stage call touches on the governance destination, and the two-stage calls touches on the bioeconomy one, and the right one, food systems and climate action. So something that's new in the 2026-2027 work program are these horizontal calls. The work program introduces a dedicated section on horizontal activities. So there's special calls that kind of cut across the usual thematic clusters in Horizon Europe and kind of address cross-cutting scientific and societal challenges. So the AI in science call is particularly relevant to Cluster 6. It kind of aims to embed artificial intelligence at the core of like scientific research across disciplines. And it serves as a pilot for the RAISE initiative, which is a major new EU-driven effort to promote AI collaboration and discovery in different research disciplines. So it's relevant for Cluster 6 because the funding comes from Cluster 6 and Cluster 4. So here you can see the types of topics under the AI and science call. So we have the thematic networks of excellence for AI in science. So this supports collaboration between top institutions to integrate AI into specific scientific domains, such as agriculture. And then we have the automated scientific discovery, which funds development for automated research, where AI can help run and complete analyze experiments. And that could be, for example, when it comes to food science. And then we also have the doctoral networks with the aim of funding training networks to develop the next generation of researchers with a focus on AI. And you can see the total budget is 89.8 million euros. Yes. So they'll at the end of January, on January 22nd and 23rd, the Horizon Europe Cluster 6 Info Days will take place. It'll be a hybrid event, so you can join online or on-site in Brussels. And here the Commission will go through the work program in detail. So they'll provide insights into the policy context. There'll be a key to success session focused on kind of guidance and how you can write quality proposals. And there'll actually be pitches for each of the topics from the work programs from 2026, where the policy officers who have been involved actually go through the program. So if you want more in-depth information about the work program, I highly encourage you to join and tune in to the Cluster 6 Info Days, as that'll be your really best opportunity to get a deep dive into to the work program. So ahead of the official info days, the Care for Bio project will host a brokerage event for potential applicants. So the event will offer networking and matchmaking opportunities. You'll find help on how to find partners and how to build a consortium. So I highly encourage you to join that as well. That's only on site in Brussels. And I have a link here for the registration for both the Cluster 6 Info Days and the brokerage event. So please do check that out. And a bit more regarding Care for Bio. It's a network of NCPs for Cluster 6 across the member states participating in Horizon Europe. So they provide info sessions. They have an event calendar where you can see like the specific events that are relevant to Cluster 6. There's a stakeholders map, and something that might be particularly relevant to applicants, new applicants, is the annotated application templates, as they kind of provide a guide on how to filling out the application form. So I really recommend you to check that out. Yes. And here you have our contact info, our emails and numbers. So you're welcome to contact us if you have any questions. And you can also check out the eusupport.dk website, where you can find an EU advisor near you. It shows the EU advisors at the different research institutions and universities. Yeah, thank you. Are there any questions?
Have one,
Yes.
which is a question about how you look at deliverables for each individual project and how you collaborate with the actors involved. It's quite a detailed question though, so thank you for that. It's a very relevant one, but because it varies a lot between the different types of project and the different types of participants, it's probably something we would need to look at the individual project and talk through it. So we're very welcome to get in touch with us and try and provide some guidance on that. But it's difficult to give a short, general answer for this.
Yeah. I'd recommend you reach out to us, and then we'll have a look at it. Anyone else? Nothing? No. Well, if there aren't any questions, I'll think we'll
We've got one there. Can different types of organizations apply for Horizon, for instance, as a public administration? To which answer would be yes.
Yes, yes, you would be. And again, if you have any specific questions on regarding a specific project, please reach out to us. We can provide some guidance on that, on how you can kind of find partners for that. So yeah, that would be possible. And of course, the slides and will be sent out to you, and the webinar is recorded, so it'll be available again, so you can always watch it back. I think if there's nothing else, we'll end it here. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.